Hola,
Hola,
¿cómo estás hoy?
very good.
Sí, trabajamos,
What?
trabajas.
Say it in English because I don't know what you're saying.
Did you go to work today?
Yeah,
Good,
and you
trabajando.
and you didn't?
Of course I did. Hey, Alazar.
What?
I said hello to Alazar.
Oh, where is he?
Oh,
Mr. Alange, how are
yes.
you?
Hello, hello.
How are you, Mr. Alange?
Baruch Hashem, how's the Chag so far?
Okay, too much to eat.
Where'd you get to? What daf did you get to? 449?
Today we're
Yeah.
doing 48.
48? Okay, good. Okay, that's good.
I put it in the message, but you probably didn't look at it.
See, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you and Kenny are terrible. So Alan, how's your house full of people still? Alan,
Huh?
your house is still full of people?
A house full of people.
Yours.
A house full of people. Baruch Hashem.
That's good. That's nice.
My son-in-law went fishing today with his children. He went down to San Diego. They caught 10 tuna, big tuna, 30-pound tunas. He brought home
Nice.
10 tunas, beautiful tuna. I should send the picture.
That's awesome.
Between 20 to 30 pounds of tuna. Yeah. He's a Kessler. So the Kesslers he's famous for the tuna. Did you remember Max Kessler over Shalom?
No.
Yeah, I remember him.
Huh?
I think I remember him.
Yeah, that's his son. His son's my son-in-law. Max is not living anymore, but he used to be a very big fisherman. But Saul went there. We're running down there by Oceanside. He took his three of his kids and brother, and they went down and they went fish. They got 10 big tunas, blue tail.
Nice.
So they brought him home. So we're gonna eat tuna. We're gonna eat tuna.
Until you
Nice.
get sick of him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, Ernie's here. Hi, Ernie.
Hi.
Looking good in the sukkah there.
Yeah.
Good. $48.
Memches. 48. Moicher star chaveru. You sell a note, right? Somebody owes you money, there's a star, and you sell it to a third party. You got to be careful. The guy buys it. The chazer mochlo. If the one who loaned the money moichel on the note mochel, right? Guy paid $1,000 to buy buy a note, but the maker of the note can be moichel the note. And so that's a risk whenever you buy a note. Afilu Yorish Moichel, even the heir of the person who lent the money can also be Moichel. And maybe, therefore, Mar Islam, Shmuel, they hold of this Shmuel business that it could be Moichel. So a woman is not going to get married with a star chov because she knows that the debt can be nimcha. Umar Leslie, Rav Meir does not hold of this, and therefore a woman relies on the star chov. Everybody holds of Shmuel that the maker of the note can be moicha, and different women. Mar Sover, according to Rav Meir, an Isha will be Samcha Daita. She will rely on the note. Meimer Amra, Lo Shavik Lelididi, Umachal Lachrini. It doesn't make sense that he's going to be Moichel. He's going to give it to me and then be Moichel the note. Mar Sarisha Nami Lo Samcha Daita. She's perhaps concerned that he will be Moichel the Chol.
Why don't we say Tandu? Whether she's concerned or not, Tandu. She wants to get married.
Okay, that's the one who says Isha Samcha Daita. And therefore she's not concerned. According to the other opinion, the Tandu Svara is not strong enough, and she's still not Soymech Das. She still wants to get something for Kiddushin. And what about Mekadesh b'malva al peh? When you do an oral loan without a note, b'may pliki. Ravuna Marav, Sham Ravuna Marav. Mona li biyatcha. It means you owe me $100. Tanei ulaploini. Give it to Chaim Yankel. If the Maimet Shloishten, if all three of them were together, Kana. So you can transfer something in this fashion. Mar Savar ki kamerav ani mili bepikodin. That's only with an object that was given to be watched, because it's be'en. Avol malve, which is, as we've learned, lahoitzonit lo, and you can't the maimet shloishten transfer something like that. All you're doing is transferring a hischayvus, nothing be'en. But Rameir will hold loishtam alva loishtam pikodin. You can, the third party can be coined, and therefore the isha could be miskadeshes b'maimin shloishtam. Nema ketanoi. This issue of mekadesh b'malva, again, the Gemara is attempting to say it's machlokes tanoi. A man says to a woman, "Iskachli bishtar." Be miskadish me with this note that somebody owes me $1,000. Yeah, I'll give you the note. Rameir Oimerim Mekudeshes. Rabbi Lazar Mekudeshes. V'chachamim Oimrim. Depends. Shami Nesanyar. We estimate the value of the paper that it's written on. Im yesh bo shavar puta Mekudeshes from Lavina Mekudeshes. Now, Hai Shtar Yechidomi. What kind of star is this? Ilema Shtar Chov Shechal Kachet. Ilema Shtar Chov Shalacherim. I mean, another person owes him money. Kashad Rav Meir. The previous statement we made before that Rav Meir says that a woman will be miskadish with a shtar chov of a third party. Ela b'shtar chov didah. She owes the money. She owes it to him. And that's this issue of Mekadesh b'malva kamifliki. No. Hochma yaskinon kigon shekitsha b'shtar she'en alav edin. We're not talking about a shtar of a note. We know you could be Mekadesh a woman with kesef shtar or bia. The shtar will say Hareat Nukadesh Sli with this shtar. Now, The question is, what if there were no Eidim on the shtar? Reb Meir is consistent. Reb Meir l'tamei. Sha'amar Eidei Chasima Karti. In our Masechta Gittin, we learned that Reb Meir held you need Eidim to sign on the get, and that is the Gemara Kinyan of the get. He holds the same thing by Shtar Kiddushin. And since there were no Eidim on this Shtar Kiddushin, it's not good. But Rabbi Elazar l'tamei Sha'amar Eidim Mesiri Karti. Rabbi Elazar didn't require Eidim to sign on the note. As long as Eidim witness a get being given, that's enough. The same thing by Kiddushin. Rabbanon take a third approach. Misafkiluhu. They're in doubt. Ikrav Meir, Ikrav Elazar. They don't know who the halacha is like. Hilkach. The use of the shtar to make the kiddushin has to be in the realm like kesef. Shamina sanyar. We estimate the value of the paper. Im yesh bo shavar pruta mekudeshes, v'im lav ena mekudeshes. V'boy seima. There's another way to explain. It's a shtar kiddushin. Kigon shekosvu shelo lishma. It was a boilerplate document. It was not written with this woman and this man specifically. Uvereish Lakish kamiflaki. And it depends on a sheet of Reish Lakish, the boy Reish Lakish. Shtar Erisin. Shekosvu Shelo Lishma. You have a kiddushin for shtar kiddushin, but it wasn't written for the specific man and woman. Can you use it? Do we say Avaya Liyitzia Makshinan? We compare Kiddushin to Gittin. Ma Yitzia Be'inan Lishma. Af Avaya Gam Be'inan Lishma. Oy Dilma Havayas Ladori Makshina. We compare methodology of Kiddushin to each other. My Avaya Kesef Lo Be'inan Lishtar. When you give money to a woman, the money hasn't been made l'shem this woman. It's any kind of money. So we would say as well, shtar kiddushin doesn't need lishma. Basar the boy, after he asked the question, Hadar Pashte, he answered it. It says in Pasuk, V'yatzame beso, v'alcha v'haisa li'ish acher. Mekish havayish liyitzia. So just like a get has to be lishma, shtar kiddushin has to be lishma. So Mar Islay, Rav Meir is Makabel Reish Lakish, and if it wasn't written lishma, it's not Mekudeshes. And Rabbi Eliezer Mar less later Reish Lakish. It doesn't need to be lishma, therefore the kiddushin is good. And the Chachamim take the third route. They're in doubt, and therefore they say if the paper is worth a pruta, it's a good kiddushin. V'bay seimet kulama islay the Reish Lakish. Everybody who holds to the sheet of Reish Lakish that the shtar kiddushin has to be lishma. Hachmay eskinon shekosvu lishma. They wrote it lishma v'shalom medaita. She didn't know that it was being written for her. The kiddushin was written with her in mind, but she wasn't informed about it. Ubeplukta the Rav Ravina, Rav Papa Rav Sharvi Kamifki, the Itmar. Kosvu lishma v'shalom edaita. If it was written lishma, but she doesn't know about it. Rav Ravina Amri Mikudeshes, Rav Papa Rav Sharvi Amri Ena Mikudeshes. So you could set up the machlokas between Rav Meir, Chachamim, and Rav Elazar in the same way. Neima kahani tanoi. Again, the Gemara wants to say that maybe this issue of being Makadish b'milva is the following machlokas tanoi, the Tanya. A woman gives raw gold to a goldsmith And she says, Osuli Shirayim Nizamim V'Tabos. Make me earrings, rings, nose rings, and the payment that I would have to pay you as a craftsman to make these things, Akadish ani lecha, I'll be Makadish with you. That means I won't have to pay you, and I'll accept Kiddushin from you, that value. Kivin Shason Mikudeshes. When he finishes the job, it's a good Kiddushin Divrei Meir. Chachavim oimrim, Ena Mikudeshes ad shegia mamen liyad. He has to give her money. Now, hi maman hechidami. What money we talk about? Ilema, also mammon. Ilema also mammon. That means when he gives her the rings, the finished product, and then mechlal the Tanakama Savar afilu also maminamilo. That means, why wouldn't it be a kiddushin? Elabamai bomikatsha. Nothing came. She gave him the raw material, so he hasn't given her anything. We're talking about the time and effort that it takes to make these things. But based on that, if we say Mekudeshes, she only owes it to him. It's like a malva. The Savri de Kula Alma, Yeshna L'Schirus Mitchila Vatsof. And everyone would hold. So when you hire somebody to work for you, the hischayvus begins from the first moment that they start working. And it doesn't end until the last moment. So therefore, she accumulated a debt, avimalve. And my love bahar kamifligi demar sover hamikadish b'milva mekudeshes umar sover mekadish b'milva en mekudeshes. More says low. You don't understand. Kul alma mekadish b'milva en mekudeshes. There is no machlokes tonight. Everybody holds. There's no kiddush. Hacha b'yeshna l'schiris mechil vatzof kamifli. They're actually arguing in when you pay a craftsman, how is he being paid? It doesn't start what you owe him from the first moment, and therefore a debt accumulates. It all happens at the last minute. When he gives her the finished product, and it's not a malva. He's moicha what she has to pay him when he finishes it. That's a good kiddushin, and it's not a halva. But Marsavar Yeshna l'schirus mitchilas vatsof. It started 2 weeks ago when he started the work. And then as it builds up, it is a debt. And so they would hold that it wouldn't work because it's like a malva. However, Iboy say Mekula Alma Yeshna l'schirus mitchilas vatsof. It doesn't, the debt starts from the beginning. And Mekadesh b'malva ena mekudeshes. So then why does anybody hold there's a good kiddushin? Hacha, we're not talking about sort of a paid worker who works for the hour. We're talking about like a contractor. And he only gets paid according to everybody at the end. It's a different issue. When a craftsman works on something, on raw material, and makes something, does he have any kinyan in the chayfetz because he raised the value of the item, which was worth X when it was raw material, now it's worth X plus something, that it's a finished product. Mars or Rav Meir will hold, koine b'shvach kli. A craftsman has a little bit of a kinyan in the kli. So therefore, when he gives these things back to her, he's giving something that he owns. And therefore, it's a good kiddushin. Umar Sover ein koine b'shvach kli. The fact that the kli became more valuable than the raw material, the woman has no kinyan in that. You know, it's interesting. Karl Marx, in his theory of labor and capitalism, he talked about that the workers have like when they're making shoes, he opposed that there was an owner of the shoe factory who pays a minimum wage, and he gets all the profit. Marx talked about a worker, you know, putting his heart and soul in the shoe, and that he has some ownership of the shoe. Very similar to this concept of what the Gemara is talking about here. V'boy sema kula alma ein umin koine b'shvach kli. Everybody holds that when a worker works and makes a shoe or whatever, he has no kinyan. And everybody holds the yeshul l'schirus b'tchila v'atzo. A worker gets paid from the beginning to the end. And mekadosh b'malva ein mekudeshes. Everybody agrees to that. So why is there anybody who says that it's a good kiddushin? Because when he gave her the finished product, he added a little stone that belonged to him as part of the deal. And Mar Savar b'malvel b'pruta daite apruta. Women knew that they were not makadosh with a milva, but a pruta they would. So her mind is on the pruta, or on the small stone that he gave. Umar Savar daite amalve. No, her mind is on the big amount. But you can't be makadosh b'malva, so that's why it's ein mekudesh. Ubeplukte dane tanoi, and that's based on the fly machlokes Tana to Tanya. If a man says to a woman, "Be miskadosh to me bischar sha'asisi imcha," you owe me wages for work that I did for you. You don't have to pay me, but be makadosh with me with that. So ein mekudeshes, that's a debt, and it's makadosh b'malva. If he says bischar she'eseh imach, I'm going to do this in the future, mekudeshes. That in the future, whatever is going to be paid to him when he finishes the job, with that schar, it'll be kesef kiddush. But Rav Nosson Omer b'schar she'semech also ena mekudeshes, because the debt begins from when he starts working. The kol shekain b'schar shasi simcha, certainly when he refers to the past tense. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi Omer be'emes amru bein b'schar shasisi bein b'schar shesemach ena mekudeshes. V'im hosif la noifech mishalo mekudeshes. If he throws in something worth a pruta, then the kiddush is a good kiddush. So bein tanakam Rav Nosson ikibinayu schirus, whether we pay a soicha from the beginning or the end. Bein Rav Nosson Rav Yehuda Nasi ikibinayu, this concept of milva upruta, does she have her mind on the pruta or the milva? Marsav milva upruta daita milva, umarsav daita pruta, and that's the way he structured the machlokes. Mishnah. Hiskachli because zeshel yayin. a man gives a woman a cup of wine and says, be makadesh to me with this cup of wine. V'nimtza shel dvash, but they find honey in the cup. Or opposite, shel dvash v'nimtza shel yain. Or he says, be miskadesh to me with the silver dinner. V'nimtza shel zav, it turns out to be golden. Or vice versa. He says, here's a golden dinner, v'nimtza shel kesef. Or he says to her, be mikadesh me on the condition that I'm a wealthy man. V'nimtza ani. Or vice versa. That he's an ani v'nimtza asher. In all these cases, eina mikudeshes. Because in each case, the Tanai that was set up have not been fulfilled. Rav Shimon Omer imhita lishvach, but if it ended up being beneficial to her, he said, be miskadesh to me if I'm a poor person. And it turns out she's wealthy. Well, she's getting a better deal than she thought. Why should that be a problem? So he says, mikudeshes. We hold like the Stab Mishnah that if anything is incorrect, the Kiddushin is not good. Especially because Tani Chada, he just said, be miskadesh to me with this cup. So one brisa says, we look at the value of the cup, and we add it up. If the value of the cup and what's inside the cup is worth a pruta, then it's fine. Tani idich bo v'lo b'masha b'socha. Another brisa says we just look at the value of the cup. V'tani idich b'masha b'socha v'lo bo. V'lo kasha. It depends what's in the cup. Ha b'maya. If water is in the cup, then we're just looking at the value of the cup. And if it was chamra, if it was wine, then the value was, they were thinking about the value of the wine. And if it was oil, the tziyara, then you look at both, the value of the cup and the value of the oil. Then the Mishnah said, Im hiti l'shvach harei ze mukudeshes. If she ended up with a better deal, the Kiddushin is good. V'les leil Rab Shimon, does Rab Shimon not accept that if a person gave to his friend yayin, he sold to a person yayin, v'nimtza chometz, and it was vinegar, or he sold vinegar and v'nimtza yayin. Shneim yicholim lachzor, they can both go back on the deal. Even though wine is more valuable than vinegar, alma, some people would rather have vinegar. Some people would rather have wine. Depends on if you're making a salad or if you're having a wine party. There were some women who would rather have silver, not gold. So why would Rav Shimon say mekudeshes? Person said to a shaliach, Hilveni dinner shel kesef, loan me a silver dinner. And with that, what you're going to loan me, lech v'kadish li isha ploinis. Go to that woman and give it to her and be makadish her. V'halach v'hilveh, he loaned it to him, and instead of doing it with silver, he did it b'shel zav. Marsa v'kapeda. The Tanakama says the person would be upset. He had told the shliach to do one thing, and he didn't do it, so he's makpid. It's not mikudeshes. Mar Savar, Rav Shimon would hold Mara Makamula. He didn't really mean it has to be silver. He gave a general, like a silver thing. But he would be maskim if it was gold. If that's the case, it wouldn't be hiskat shili, it would be hiskat shilo boiling, because we're talking about the shliach doing it for another person. And it's not hitter lishvach, hiteyu lishvach boiling. So the language that you're trying to edit the brisa doesn't work. And nimtza, meikori nami dezab. It wasn't like it was found to be gold. It was gold all along. Ela Amar Rava, ani va'arisha b'chabura, me and the lion of the chabura. Targimna will explain who was the lion. Manu, Rav Chia Baravi. Och ma'eskinan, k'gon she'amra hi l'shlucha. The woman appointed a shaliach and said, say the Kabbalah Kidushin Ploini. I want you to accept Kiddushin that's being sent to me by Chaim Yankel. Sha'amar li, he told me that he was going to be miskadish me, iskachli b'dinishal kesef, with a silver dinner. V'halach, and the one who was giving Kiddushin, nosul lo dinishal zav, gave the shaliach of the woman a golden dinner. Mar Savar Kapeda, that the woman would still be upset because she wanted silver and he wanted Umar Savar Mar Makamulo. That it's just was just an example. Umay Nimsa, the Katsayir Biblisa. It was in a shmata. The Shaliach didn't know what it was being makabel, whether it was silver, whether it was gold. Amar Rabbi Rav Shimon Gamliel. Rabbi Lazar Kulasfiri Luhu Mare Makamulo. That when you tell a shaliach to do something, it's not a specific thing. It's a general guide. And if the shaliach made a little shinoi, it's not halachically relevant. And we don't say the one who sent it is makpid. Rav Shimon Hadamara. Rav Shimon Gamliel, which we will learn tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow we can learn at 8 o'clock because there's no tsurba tomorrow. We took a tsurba, right? We took a tsurba break this week.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow night.
Okay.